Hi there, my name's Tristan Nichols from the Herald. I'm down here today in Central Park. It's lovely and sunny, not, with Joey Ansah, Bourne Ultimatum star and former Devonport High School for Boys pupil. Joey, how you doing?
I'm not bad, Tristan. I'm not bad.
What's going on at the minute then?
Well, I'm down in Plymouth this weekend to do a seminar, basically, on Sunday, 14th of September. It's going to be at Plymouth Swallows Gymnastics Centre from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. And I'm going to be teaching screen fighting, acrobatics, some of the conditioning tips that I do, and some combat stuff. So it's going to be a really good chance for people who are interested in martial arts, who train traditional martial arts or combat martial arts, who want to learn the tricks of the trade of, movie fighting and a mixture of, realistic type moves and choreography and some of the flashy kind of tricks, flips and stunt falls that you see.
How long have you been training yourself?
About 17 years now. It's been a long time. It's been kind of one of these life quests, as childhood quests to become some kind of superhero.
Yeah. And you trained down in Plymouth for a great number of years?
Yeah, I lived in Plymouth from the age of 14 till 18. So I did my GCSEs and A-levels here. I went to Devonport High School for Boys, and during that whole time I was training. Did ninjutsu, which I've continued to do for over a decade now, and that was probably the largest core martial art that I did, in my career thus far.
Brilliant. And you're in, of course, we can't not mention the Bourne Ultimatum, last summer's major blockbuster with Matt Damon. Tell us a bit about how you got that part and really how was it?
Yeah, an interesting question. How did I get it? I went to university, Oxford Brookes, and did a human biology degree of all things. But my heart was in acting still. I used to act a lot when I was younger, and I decided that's what I wanted to do. So whilst at uni, I continued to make steps to get into the industry. By the time I finished uni, I moved straight back to London, got myself an acting agent, member of Equity and Spotlight, and began working as a professional actor. And you build up a reputation, and eventually in comes the Bourne Ultimatum audition. The casting director for it requests cast me, which means he specifically requests my presence, participation at the audition. I'd auditioned for him previously, and he'd obviously remembered me, so he called me back, and that's how it went. It was 3 stages of auditions. For big roles like that, you don't get them easy in one go. It's like multiple testing stages until finally you get that call. And then the next day I was off to LA, and the whole journey began,
Was it quite surreal?
It was. People often wonder, how does it feel when you get a phone call and it's like you've got the part? You assume you're going to jump up and down for joy. But in reality it's quite a humbling experience, because you're like, my life is actually going to change kind of quite significantly from this point forward. And rather than it being a fickle, it's almost like, wow, this is like a fairy tale, but it's come true, and it takes a while to kind of process it. But
and what was it like? Working with Matt Damon of all people.
It was great. I couldn't have asked for a kind of better big break. He's such a good role model as an actor. He's one of these actors who's been in the game for a long time, achieved a lot, and stays fairly clean. He's someone who you can respect in terms of how he handles his private life. It was great. All my scenes were with him and Julia Stiles, so to spend 2 months every day with those guys, getting to know them and joking around and having fun, it was really good. And I can't say enough good things about Matt Damon. He really is a star, in a lot of ways.
Some of the scenes are quite brutal. They're very realistic. Were there any particular bits where you caught Matt or he caught you? Or?
Yeah, the fight we wanted to make, as you can see, it's shockingly realistic and brutal. So in the way it was choreographed and conceived, that was the plan. But from my part, I wanted to make it as mind-blowing as possible. So I wanted to take as many real hits as possible. In a lot of screen fighting, there'll be body hits, just pulled here, and then you'll do a reaction. So there's not any contact. It's all kind of pantomiming. But I said, wherever possible, I want to see him properly. If he's going to kick me in the stomach, I want him to just kick me in the stomach and knock me across the room. Simple as that. So people are seeing realities. There were little accidents where Matt punched me in the head one time. There's a scene where I had to smash him through a glass cabinet and his head hit a shelf in there, which was meant to break, but it didn't. That left him dazed. There was a scene where I had to almost flying side kick his shin. So he comes in for a kick and I have to jump and bam, it's called a stop kick. and he had football shin guards on, but we kept trying to pull it, so I didn't really contact much. And the director was like, "What is this kick? What are you doing this kick for?" And kind of me and the fight coordinator were like, "It's just called a stop kick. You see, he's trying to kick me, and I'm jumping and actually kicking his kick." So it's not selling to me. Either make it work or we'll lose it. So on this next take, we just went for it. Bam! And afterwards, Matt Damon was, my leg, and he sat down. And lucky he had the football shin guards on, so I think I really clocked him. But other than that, bruises, it's 6 13-hour days is how long the fight took, consecutive. So you can imagine it's utter exhaustion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got through it in one piece.
But look very good.
Thank you very much.
How's your life changed since then?
It has in a lot of ways, and in other ways it's kind of stayed the same. I mean, once these things happen, they kind of become your reality, if that makes sense. So the first premiere you do is an amazing experience. The first time you're surrounded by other celebrities and talking to other actors you've really admired, and first time you go to LA, it's all new. But after a while, it kind of just becomes the status quo for you, and you're less your heart rate doesn't quite go up as much, each time you arrive in LA or you're going down a red carpet. You just take it in your stride. So that's nice. It just becomes, and I think the thing is, you don't buy into the hype, and that way you stay grounded. If you suddenly begin to think, because I'm working in Hollywood, I'm now something special, it doesn't work like that. You've got to kind of keep your feet grounded.
So you can get away with flicking peanuts at Matt Damon now, or George Lucas, or
punch him. But it's good. I mean, what's changed is I go to LA regularly now. I've got a manager in LA. I had a tour of Universal Studios and met all the execs. I'm seeing things and privy to people and places that a lot of people aren't. I've got projects in development in Hollywood, so the whole going for business lunches in Beverly Hills with the film producers and writers and discussing it, that's all kind of new, There's the side of doing press. I'm doing a lot more press, as we are now, Plymouth Herald, you better believe it. Doing TV interviews, red carpet interviews, all that's different.
What's coming up then? What's coming up? What are people likely to see you in?
Okay, well, continuing, as I said, the action side I've kind of proven with Bourne, because I've got there's the acting, straight dramatic side, and then there's the physical action side. I don't want to just do action stuff, although I'd be happy to. I love doing action films, but, I'd like to do more. So I'm splitting my time between action projects that I'm really passionate about and then straight drama. So for instance, I'd guest starred in an episode of Doctors on the BBC, which will air November 5th. I play a detective investigating a big murder case. It's a really good, meaty role to play. That's coming out. I just co-produced and starred in a short film, kind of Blade Runner sci-fi-esque film, which we're doing the post-production for now, which I'm hoping to pitch as a feature film vehicle for myself. Then did a short film for Working Title, in which I starred and did all the action choreography. I've got a part, I think, in the upcoming Hugh Grant and Zhang Ziyi film. It's called Lost for Words, produced by Working Title. That should be shooting, I think, mid-October. And currently, for instance, there's a new Minder series coming out, which I'm being considered for a regular role in the first series. So
busy then.
Yeah, it's good. Things are busy, keeping busy, and it's good.
What's it like coming back to Plymouth?
It's good. Well, my mum and my sister live here. I used to train where we are now, Central Park. This was kind of the birthplace of a lot of my skills. The number of days I used to come up here and train in this spot, in that field. My house is just down there. Mayflower Centre, I used to train ninjutsu at. I used to high dive at Central Park. Even in one of my promotional show reels, you probably can't see it, but there's a public toilets there, and I used to somersault off that onto the ground. So yeah, this place has a lot of kind of nostalgic, energy for me.